word that I would use to describe them is loving. Definitely loving.
Fun, because they're fun. And who doesn't like that?
Persistent.
Faithful.
That they are very welcoming.
I describe Grandma and Grandpa as adventurous.
Inviting.
Grandma and Grandpa, like, you can feel how much love they have for all of their grandchildren, and like they're constantly trying to show it to us and make us all feel happy and like we belong.
Grandma, I think, is very loving, and Grandpa is my best friend.
Friendly.
One good word to describe you guys is delicious, because when I think of you guys, I think of cinnamon rolls, and cinnamon rolls are delicious.
Hospitable.
Grandma and Grandpa are very happy.
Spiritual.
Grandma and Grandpa are both very exciting because they do fun things with us, like the hummingbird feeder or going golfing and ending up with the golf balls in the pool.
The word that I would describe Mom and Dad with is dedicated.
Care, because they both care so much about everyone.
Love, because they just love us all as grandkids so much.
Loving. They are very, very loving and accepting. They accept everyone. They accepted me right away.
A memory I have of Grandma is when she read Bryce and I a book about a farmer boy, Alonzo. That was fun. And a memory I have with Grandpa is him beating me at chess.
My favorite memory is that time in Brazil when I ate half a batch of cinnamon rolls.
I remember whenever we visited, Grandma would always sit down with us and we would make super fun plans for the whole week. And I remember that Grandpa would teach us really cool spiritual lessons about like chemistry stuff. Like there was a light bulb one. I think that one was cool. I remember liking that one.
One of my favorite memories with Grandma is going through some of this, like if we were like thinking of doing a craft or trying to find materials for a specific craft, we'd go up in the room where all the different craft stuff was, and she would tell me like why she got all the different stuff and what it was originally intended for, what now she's using it for. And there were so many cool stories.
My favorite memory, I couldn't pick one, so here's a list. Playing Skip-Bo in the Shack, going to Broadway shows, seeing Sugarloaf together in the Fog, Cristo Redentor, the Churrasco at Presidente Lucas's house, and probably most of all, most recently, is watching the way you ministered to all of your friends in Brazil so lovingly and so beautifully.
One time I made an emoji pillow with Grandma. That was really fun because we just got to spend time together. And with Grandpa, I just, one time I remember it was after my soccer game, and he explained to me every concept of soccer. And I don't think I listened. I think I zoned out.
One of my favorite memories with Grandma is when I was little. She'd sometimes let me go in her room, fancy room, to like while she was getting ready for church, and I'd like go in her closet, and it was like Narnia to me in there. It was so cool. Just the whole room was like magic to me, and that thing where you'd go boom on the exercise machine where you'd like fall backwards. I don't think you were meant to fall backwards, but like that's what would happen to me when I did it. My favorite experience is keep your head on the pillow.
I have this memory when we lived in Connecticut and Bryce was going to be born, and thankfully they were willing to come out and help watch the kids, but Grandma had to finish her laundry first. So I had to tell Cheryl, just hold it in. I remember all the times that Grandma and Grandpa have served us. Grandpa helping me fix things, like the washer or dryer that broke. And then when our water heater broke, he helped install a new one, and lots of other things. And all the service that Grandma helped as well.
With Grandpa, I like all the times we go mini golfing with him because it's fun to learn a little bit more from him and to amaze him with my incompetence.
So my favorite memory with Grandma and Grandpa was when they would take us to the Museum of Natural Curiosity. That place was probably one of the most fun amusement parks I've ever been to the point that even now as a grown-up I want to go back there, but it was pretty epic.
And one of my favorite memories with Grandpa is talking about the like polarized glass that he was working on. That was really cool. That was how I learned about polarization, I think.
One time I called Grandma and Grandpa for my birthday, as one does, and I don't know where Grandma went, but Grandpa explained to me everything about how a sailboat works. I was like 12. I don't really remember anything, but I got the full rundown.
For Grandma, is probably one of my favorites was doing the hummingbird feeder because we looked into it and then we went to a bunch of different stores looking for that one soy sauce type of can that would work. And finally we got to see the hummingbirds. That was really cool. And Grandpa helped because he put the whole wire thing on it. And my favorite with Grandpa is probably also mini golfing because it was funny to see how badly I could lose at it as well. See how many we could all fail at this one single hole. I think we all got 15 on one of them. And the treat afterwards, going to my favorite restaurant in the US, Chick-fil-A.
My favorite memory of my dad is swimming with him at the pool. Like, we would have so much fun, and we'd also do races, and I just loved that time with my dad. With my mom, it's talks. Like, we've had more than 1 million talks in our time, and I can't rate one better than the other. I just love talking to my mom.
One of my favorite memories, well, these aren't specific memories, but these are things that happened several times with Mom, is I would read these, fantasy or science fiction books, and I would tell her about them for hours, and she would listen and pretend to be interested, even though I know she didn't care at all about those books, just because she cared about me. And with Dad, some of my best memories are backpacking with him. One that sticks out is when we went to Boley Lake and there was a forest fire and we had to out-hike the forest fire to get back to our car in safety. It was pretty exciting. Learning to fish with him, and, lots of fun stuff.
My favorite memory of me with Grandma and Grandpa is when we went to the temple over on Thanksgiving.
Okay, one of my favorite memories with Grandpa is one year I was giving him a real hard time because I found out that Grandma bought the Christmas presents and he just kind of put his name on it. And I was like, no, you have to get me a present. And he explained to me that he just didn't know what to get for people. So I think I was kind of like pushing him to get Grandma a present that he chose. So he said, come with me to the mall. And we went together to the mall and we looked through so many earrings and I picked a bunch. He showed me the ones that he chose for Grandma and I told him, okay, I think these would be great. And I told him how much I liked them. And then when Christmas came and I opened it, he had chosen one of those earrings for me. So I knew that he had gone and picked up my gift, and that made me feel very, very special. One of my favorite memories with Grandma, I think has to be, we have really good memories going to the temple together, but one of the first memories I have with them was my first Christmas spending it with them. We were at Grandma and Grandpa Jensen's home in Orem. And it was my very first Christmas in the US. And Grandma bought me presents, which I thought was really special because we didn't really know each other, but she was really sweet. She got me this teddy bear. And it came in a box. It was like for this porcelain doll. And I thought that's what I got. And I was like, you got me what? And they thought I was very excited about it, but I was like, I don't really like dolls. So I was really grateful that it was a stuffed animal.
During one of the many times she made us cinnamon rolls, I was helping her make like this cinnamon sugar for it. Not cinnamon sugar, the glaze. And so she was like trying to help me like teaching me how to do it because I hadn't done it before. But she was also working on like getting the cinnamon rolls ready. So we were like kind of multitasking. It was about 15 minutes later, I'm still stirring like this milk that's like super creamy and it's just like really bad. It's a disaster. And then Grandma looks over, she's like, oh no, Krista, so then she just comes over and dumps like the entire bag of powdered sugar into the bowl. Because I thought you just needed like a tablespoon, not like 4 cups. With Grandpa, it has to be like with our like morning hikes on like the KFRs. those are super fun. And I love hearing his stories and yeah, I don't know. They're super fun.
The fun experience I've had with you guys is going to Cristo Redentor or the Christ the Redeemer statue.
I remember always playing games with them at the table.
Favorite memories? With Roger, of course, it's been the hiking and backpacking stories that we always bring up over and over again. The going without water, the bad bear, yeah, lots of fun trips and hiking. With Linda, it's mostly just talking. I mean, we joke around that once she starts asking questions, you've got no secrets. And I think that's true. I think we all just really enjoy talking to her.
I remember when I decided I was gonna make a weighted blanket and Grandma was gonna help me, and Grandpa ended up helping too because it kept breaking the needles, and so Grandpa had to hold the sewing machine up at a weird angle while we ran it through. So it was a group effort.
One of my favorite memories with Grandma and Grandpa was when we went to go see what a tropical storm was like at the beach, in person, all together.
One thing I learned from them, from their example, is that being a good family is something you can learn. Because as a kid, we took classes, we read books, we studied, we learned how to be a better family. Each of us our part.
I think they've been a great example of keeping a marriage together for a long time. You don't see that very much, so that's cool.
They care so much about their family and show that they put their family first. They make an effort to hang out with us and stay connected with us.
Something I learned from you guys is how to make cinnamon rolls.
I think one thing I really like about that example of family is how to like really welcome people in and make them feel like they're part of the family, but also without like trying to pretend to be some kind of like perfect family.
Yeah.
Still being very human.
Something that Grandma and Grandpa have taught me a lot was to have unconditional love for everyone in the family. That no matter what people are going through or the choices they're making or anything that's going on, you love them unconditionally and you help them in any way you can.
Something I've learned from their marriage is how to support your spouse in their habits, jobs, callings, and all those nice things.
I like that they made a family where we can all be really comfortable around each other and play games all the time and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Without fighting. A lot.
Sometimes I've seen Grandpa upset Grandma.
What?
But they've been able to work it out. They're still together.
What I've learned from Roger and Linda, the first thing that came to mind was just staying steady and faithful in the gospel. I really enjoyed seeing what they've learned from their missions and what that they continue to serve.
I have learned that I live. Without them, my mom wouldn't be alive, and without my mom, I wouldn't be alive. So, and then
they are just very they're easy to talk to, and they really try hard to like connect with people.
We're all pretty similar because we're all in the same family, but there's also things that can be really different, and that could be hard to work through, but like it's still family.
What I've learned from Grandma and Grandpa's example is that you do lots of good things and you get lots of blessings.
They're very good at setting an excellent example for all of us, like serving 3 missions and just being so family oriented, like at every KFR.
What I've learned from Mom and Dad is to never give up, and always keep trying. They are just such good examples of doing that throughout their lives, throughout my life. And they've also said those words exactly to me, but it's easier to follow because of how many times they've said it, to just keep trying and never give up. I love that example.
I was thinking about when Grandpa sang that John Denver song. I think it was after the Ogden KFR. It was in our basement. And just the example of like still doing romantic things for each other.
Something that I've noticed about their marriage is how well they support each other in their healthy hobbies like hiking and biking and skiing. And I love being involved in that too, as one of their kids.
I think one of the things that I've learned from their marriage, and also I just think this is just the kind of people they are, has been that they value respect and they just show respect. I feel like they have been always very respectful of the people that we are, especially like speaking from our family, like David and I, we are our own little family, and they've always been very respectful of who we are, what we think, our values, and they are honestly supportive. Like Elena said, they don't fake anything, but they also let us be ourselves, and I think that empower us and give us a stronger desire to be good and to be as good as they are.
Well, they always want to hang out and invite us over to their house and stuff for dinner and games. So yeah, I don't know.
The thing I learned from them is that people can go on a mission when they're old.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like how much they forgive each other. You can see Grandma or Grandpa going up and like apologizing to the other one just for making a simple human mistake, and they're so quick to forgive. And it like gives me hope that like when I get married, when I get older, that hopefully it'll get easier to forgive.
Happy 50th anniversary, Grandma and Grandpa!
Happy 50th anniversary! I hope it's great.
Love you, Grandma and Grandpa. It's so awesome. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much.
So grateful for your example.
You guys are epic and I love you. You guys are cool.
It's true!
Yay.
All of it!
Happy